Hi, my name's Andy Sykes. I'm an award-winning animator and illustrator based in the UK. Welcome to my lessons on Flash CS5. This is my website, hexjibber.com. You can check out my animation, my illustration, my interactive work, and also more of my video tutorials in Flash. Enjoy! Hi, welcome to my tutorial on vectors and bitmaps. When I'm teaching Flash, my students often ask me what the difference between a vector and a bitmap is. So in this lesson, that's what I'm going to illustrate. You can see here that I've got two stars. One is a vector and one is a bitmap. Let's find out which is which. Okay, on the left hand side here, we've got a vector. It's made up of a fill and a stroke around the edge. Check out my tutorial on strokes and fills if you don't know what those are. And over here we've got a bitmap. You see when I click on that, it's just got a bounding box around it. But they look pretty much the same. So what's the actual difference? Well, the best way to illustrate that is by zooming in. If I zoom in on our bitmap over here, you can see that as I zoom in, it breaks up into pixels. So you can see little squares making up this image. That's because it's a bitmap. A bitmap is a series of pixels that create an image. If we zoom back out again, I'm going to click up here and fit in window. If we do the same for our vector over here, if I zoom in on that, you'll notice that it's not breaking up into pixels. It's keeping really sharp corners and you can't see any blocks at all. I'm actually zoomed in at 2000% at the moment and we can't see any breaking up at all. That's because vectors are infinitely scalable. They're essentially just a series of coordinates that Flash uses to draw a line through, whereas a bitmap is made out of little squares. I can illustrate this further if I put outline mode on. You can see this is how a vector is represented in outline mode. You can see that it's got an outline of a star, whereas our bitmap's just a big square. Equally, if I get my subselection tool out and click on my vector, you can see that it's made up of a series of points. And that's how our image is created. So that's all Flash is storing. That's all the information it has. Just these series of points. And that's how it creates the image. So vectors are actually a lot smaller in file size than bitmaps. If we go over and click using our subselection tool on our bitmap, we don't get anything because we don't have any editability over that bitmap in its current state in Flash. So if I wanted to change the color of my vector, that'd be easy. I just select it and give it a blue fill and a red outline, no problem. What about with my bitmap? Can I edit that? Let's see. I'm going to try and change the fill to blue. Nothing happens. Try and change the stroke. Nothing happens. That's because there are no strokes and fills here, because this is a bitmap and not a vector. So why is this important? Well, you do animations in Flash, and often in animation it's really useful to be able to make objects bigger and smaller. So if I grab my star vector here and make it really, really massive, like that, you can see that it's not breaking up at all. Just like when I zoomed into it. It's still looking really, really sharp. And equally, if I want to make it really small, I have to zoom out a bit because it's got so big, I can shrink that down to a really tiny size. Admittedly, the stroke will stay the same size, so we'll just get a really massively thick stroke. But I can then, because it's a vector, I can edit that and shrink our stroke down. So vectors are ideal for animation because they never break up and they're always editable. So in my next lesson, I'll show you how to trace a bitmap and convert it into a vector. So try it yourself and I'll see you in the next lesson. Hi, if you enjoyed this lesson, why not consider checking out the hexjibber colouring and activity book on my website, hexjibber.com. It's suitable for kids and adults alike and you can get it from Amazon, Play.com and WH Smith's. Cheers.